sound. Screen. Hello. Let me make sure I click on this button, and I forgot to get my phone ready. Alright. You'd think I would, keep track of all these things, but I don't know. How are you doing, Mama?
I'm doing alright. How are you?
Doing okay. I have not been enjoying the weather.
No, nor have I.
Yeah, it is unbelievably warm. And I would, greatly like it if the weather would go away. Let stream. There it is. But yeah. I have a portable AC in, this room. It is quite loud. My audio subtraction is decent, because I according to the levels from OBS, if I stop talking, the mic just says no sound is happening, which probably results in more distortion to my audio than I wish was happening. But I sound okay-ish. I also have another fan going on top of the AC, and yet it is 78 degrees in here.
Ew. That's fairly revolting.
Yep. So, I know the AC works because when the sun goes down, it gets down to 66. So, I need to figure out what I'm doing wrong with the insulation around the window. And then what else I can do to make it so that it's not too bad. So yeah. I think there's a few things that I can do. I have, some insulation around the AC exhaust thing. But it's I can probably improve on it. But yeah. Other than that, anything that you want to share on your side, Mama?
Nah.
Alright, then move this over, transition to Sudoku, and we're going to start with our first puzzle, which is Two-Step Whispers by Grant McLean. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Adjacent digits along a green German whisper line must differ by at least 5, and adjacent digits along an orange Dutch whispers line must differ by at least 4. Digits along a thermometer must strictly increase from the bulb end. And then let me get the link into chat. Two-Step Whispers. And then we can get started. So, I think the fun part is the fact that this is red and this is blue. Those might not necessarily be high and low, so maybe I should use green and purple. This one would have to be purple, and the reason I know this is that if I say place a 4 here, then green line has to be 5 digits, 5 away. Well, 4 plus 5 is 9, and I can't go any larger than 9. And if this was a 6 instead, 6 minus 5 is 1. And I can't go any smaller. And of course, 4 and 6, you can't go the opposite direction. 4 minus 5 is 0. Well, negative 1, actually. And 6 plus 5 is 11, and then we're too far away. And if you were to put a 5 on the line, well, minus 5 is 0, plus 5 is 10. It doesn't even go on the green lines. If I were to try a 7, then I could do 1 or 2 on either side. But we do know that these have to be different colors, so to speak. Different high and low values. And that's true of this one. That's true of that one. And it's true of these two, which green, purple, green, purple, green, purple, green, which I guess I should probably just go ahead and do all of these around the... All of those purple, and the rest of these green. Did I miss any? But we know that this one is 4 away from this one and 4 away from that one. So let's say this was a 4. Well, 4 plus 4 is 8, which would make this an 8-9 pair, because 4 minus 4 is 0, so it can't be 4 away, which would make both of those high digits. 6 would be a 1-2 pair for similar reasons, and those are both low digits. But I can't make the 6 larger to make it 7, 8, or 7. Yeah, 7, 8, or 9. Because even if I did a 9 here, 9 minus 4 is 5. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. But again, we can't put a 5 on the green line. So I can't make the 4 smaller or the 6 larger. So the only possibility here is a 5 and a 1-9 pair. And that's also true of these two. These are both 5, and these are 1 and 9. And we're going to have a 5 here. That's the only option on a Dutch Whisper 4 steps away when these two have to be different. Because otherwise, the Dutch Whisper lines operate pretty similarly to the German Whisper lines. Then we're going to get a 5 here. This is the only place that can go. A 5 here is the only place that can go. A 5 there is the only place that one can go. A 5 here is the only place that one can go. And a 5 there. I think that's all the 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Brian waves. Hello, Brian. How was your weekend?
I no longer hear you talking.
Me? I am not talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Last thing I said was, Brian, how was your weekend? And then I was trying to use my
I caught
brain and
that, and
identify
there
things.
was just suddenly nothing. It's like, oh crap. Okay, never mind.
That is one of the downsides of the audio subtraction, is that when it's not picking up anything, or at least when I'm not talking, because it's definitely picking up stuff, but when it's not picking up stuff that's loud enough, then it is quiet. But yeah, Brian says it's been good in Denver, about to fly home. Safe travels. So it sounds like you've been traveling. Did you do some fun traveling? In Mexico for the weekend. Nice. Did that all go as planned? Because I know travel plans can be kind of tricky. Or maybe not kind of tricky. What would be kind of the right way to say that? I guess it's more so that the best laid plans don't always happen the way they're supposed to. Now at this point, I'm just sort of like flailing, trying to figure out how to ask a question in the right way. All right. With these
Okay,
green lines, go ahead.
in box 7, And of course, in row 9, what's left over are an odd even pair.
An odd even pair or a green purple pair?
Green purple, sorry.
Yeah. So, like, if this one's orange,
So, like, if you,
both of
yeah,
these are going to be. I don't want to do yellow. I'm going to do black.
then, yeah, that would be orange. Column 9 needs 1 purple and 2 green.
So these are either both orange or a black green pair, or black
Yeah.
orange pair. Well, I guess it would
Box
be.
6
Well, that would be
needs 1 purple, 2 green.
box 6, 1 purple, 2 green.
Column 8 needs a black and an orange,
Yeah.
but
Although
we
we
don't
don't
know
know which
which it
one's
is.
which. I guess the thing to ask along, say, this line here is like, what can these purple ones be? So I think none of the purple ones can be 4 or 6.
Correct.
The green one, this one, could be 4 or 6. Except if it was a 4 or 6, this would be 1 or 9, which contradicts the one up here.
Right.
So these can't be 4 or 6, so these are a 4 6 pair. So then what about these ones? So we know those two can't be 4 6. This one can't be 4 6. Could this be 4 6? I just sort of want to prove that this one's 4 6, just for funsies. But these would be green 1 9s, and I don't see a green 1 9 that's going to contradict those.
Right.
So that's a possibility. What about the column? That one could be 4 6. That one can't. That one can't. This one could. That one could not, because this would be green 1 9 and clash with that one. So the 4 6s are these 4.
Hmm.
I guess I should probably just look at the whole German whisper line and see where 4 6s can go. Alright, I'm going to start off here. That one can't be 4 6, that one can't, that one can't, that one can't. This one could. And then we know those are all 1 9s. This one could be 4 6. So then this one cannot. That one could. This one could not. Until we get down to here. That one could. And we know that the rest of these cannot until we get to here again. Oh, that's not easy enough to see.
Yeah, but
those in
I
the
was gonna
corners.
say.
Now, this doesn't mean that 4 6s have to be there. These are the ones that could be 4 6.
Right.
These ones. Wait a second. Of these 3 green ones, which one can be 1 9? Either of those two. Okay, never mind. That's not helpful. What about the purple 1 9? That one can't be, and that one can't be. So this one is. Right?
Yeah.
So then these are 1 2 3 7 8
8.
9. They're not 1
Oh, right. Could be 2 3.
9. Yeah. I just have trouble keeping track of all of the options in my head, so I often
Right.
just put in all the digits and then take things away because it's easier for my head. But the rest of these are 1 2 3 7 8 9, except for the middle one. Which feels like that's not useful. Although now we know that the purple 1 9 in box 9 can't be on the bottom or middle. It's obviously not green, and this purple 1 9 cancels out that one. So that's the green
Right.
1 9. Or not green 1 9, purple 1 9. And what about up here? Well, it can't be that one because it sees there. This one's green, so this digit is a purple 1 9. And so now 1 2 3 4 purple digits. That gives us a green one here. And that was good for that column. Well, purple 1 9 over here. It's not this one. And then, well, we get the purple 1 9 like that. So maybe we should look at the green ones?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we've got green 1 9's there. One of these 3, because that could be the green 1 9. One of these 3. All of those. The green 1 9 is not nearly as helpful. So we're going to have to look for a place where it gets forced. So that would be these. Well, actually, maybe the green 4 6 is a better idea. Because that has to be one of those two. Except, it can't be this one up here anymore. Because we learned that this is the purple 1 9.
Right.
So that's not the green 4 6, this one is, and that one's not. So now this can't be a green 4 6 because we learned that this one is. What about the purple 4, 6 in this column? We know it's not 5. We know it's not green. This one's 1, 9. This one has 2 neighbors in the same box. And this one has 2 neighbors in the same box. So this has to be the purple 4, 6. So this is a green 1, 9. And there we go. That gives us a green 1, 9. But not enough information over here. I don't think enough information over here either.
All right, column 9, where can the other 4, 6 be? We don't know if it's green or purple, though.
Yeah.
But neither one can be in box 3.
So these have to both be 4, 6 then.
Yeah.
So then we know that this one's orange.
Mm-hmm.
And if these are green and orange, then one of green and orange, black and orange, as I click them in reverse order. One of these days I will do something correctly. But black and orange correlate with purple and green. One of these two is purple, and I have 3 purples. So this one here must be green. And that gives me 4 greens here, so then there's a purple. And these are 2, 3, 7, 8. Same with these two, 2, 3, 7, 8. So this must be the green 1, 9. 2, 3, 7, 8. 2, 3, 7, 8. 2, 3, 7, 8. 2, 3, 7, 8.
And in box 3, we need a 4, 6 pair. And that cannot be end in 4 because there's a 1 in that in box 5 in the 1, 9 pair.
So this has to be 2, 3, 4. And now green is our high digits. So purple is our low digits. And that gives us a lot of things. 9, 1s, 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 9s, and 9s. 2, 3 leaves, 7, 8 leaves. 1 and 9, 1. This isn't 2 or 3, so that doesn't matter. We don't know which way those go. That's a 1. This isn't 7 or 8. That isn't 7 or 8. 7, 8, 9. 2, 3. I did that wrong. 2, 3. There we go. 7, 8, 7, 8. 2, 3. This one's red. That one's blue. This can't be a 6 because that would break the 1s.
Column 8 below the 9.
4, 6. One of the hard parts of marking everything. 2, 3 pair. That's a 3. That's a 2. These are all blue digits. So these are all red. 6, 7, 8. Not a 6. 2 there.
Row 4 needs a red.
6, 7, 8. And that one. Oops. This one can't be 6. This one is. Again, one of these days I will do things correctly, but today doesn't have to be that day. This is a 9, because that's 6, 7, and 8 over there. So these are 3, 4. So this is 1 or 2. That's a red, blue pair. 2 or 3. Well, orange can't be blue anymore. So orange is red, black is blue. 4, 6, 6. No 6s. That can't be 4 anymore. 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. Not a 6, apparently, because that's not a 6. Or, excuse me, that is a 6. So that makes this one a 6. 7, 8, 9. 2, 3,
Row
4.
2, that first one's
2,
a 7 or 8.
7, 8. Red.
Right, column 4 needs 4, 6, 7, 8. Now, that wasn't really very helpful, though, was it?
Yeah. Column 5, 6, 7, 8, and also 4. 4, 6, 7, 8, and 2.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
might
then
be too
column
much.
7 needs 3, 7, 8, 9.
Hmm. Okay. In box 1, I'm missing 9, which cannot be on the top row. So both of these are blue. So they are 2 and 4. 2 is removed from here, 4 is removed from there. That means that's red, and so is this one. And then I
1,
have
3, 9.
9 and 1 or 3. I mean, that is 1, 3, 9 going across. But I already have 1, 3, and 9 in the rest, so let's actually go ahead and take those out for funsies. But I have 6, 7, 8 triple, so these two are a blue 2, 4. Those are a red blue pair.
Oh,
These two are a red blue pair. Oh,
never mind. Yeah, no, it dawned on me that my O is not appropriate. Column 9, the 7, 8 that's in box 6 between the 3 and the 1 cannot be a 7.
because 5 away from 3 is minimum 8, so the 7 goes away.
So row 4, 7, 8. Box 1, the 7, 8 that's on the German Whisper can't be a 7 because it's next to a 3.
Right.
2, 4, 8. Row 5 needs 1, 2, 7.
You said
Right,
this
well, 1
row,
and 7.
1, 2, 7,
1, 7.
in that order.
Six over 3.
Ta-da! First try. All right. Do, 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 do. Yeah, alright. Here, copy this. I do know that when it is very warm, the grain gets cooked. And while that is also some uh, Zoomer lingo, it is true that my brain is cooked. and I am struggling a little bit. 5 left to right. It was a pretty easy puzzle. Knowing how German whisper lines and Dutch whisper lines work was kind of important. But I don't know if that logic's super tricky to work through if you aren't already familiar with that. And painting really helps. But I would say it was still pretty, very easy. Do you agree with that, Mama?
Yeah, it works.
Alright. And then paste this in my notes, which I did not do correctly. Copy this, paste it here, put a colon, and then don't need that one. Copy that URL. Here we go. Save. Alright. And now we are on to the puzzle Co-op by Math Pesto. Link in the chat if you'd like to give it a go. The rules are: normal Sudoku rules apply, digits on an arrow, sum to the digit in its circle. And that's it. That's all the rules. So, this one has got 3 there. Minimum 1, 2, and 3 means the minimum is 6 and can go all the way up to 9. This one's a little trickier, so I'll deal with that one later, but this one's got a similar rule, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now we deal with these two with their extra bits. Now, this one is minimum 1, and these can be 1, 2. So that's 3 plus 1, it means this is minimum 4. And the same is true over here. This is now minimum 4. However, the sum of these two must at least get to 13. Because I can put a 2 here and a 3, 4 there, and that's going to make this one 9, and 4 is 13. Because these two are minimum 3, and these 4 are minimum 10. And 10 and 3 is 13. Another way of looking at it. These 5 sum to a minimum of 15, and a similar thing going on here, which means that these two sum to a minimum of 15, which means they are 6, 7, 8, or 9.
Well, in boxes 1 and 9, the arrow parts sum to a minimum of 21. Plus there's the extra outside on the other, so a minimum of 22. 15 is the minimum.
So we need 7 more? But if this was 17...
Right.
Then
that could be lower.
That would still be minimum 5, wouldn't it? Because you said 15 and 6 is 21, plus 1 is 22.
22.
22 minus 17 is 5.
Right.
So those are still pretty large digits. Now this one, unfortunately, is minimum 2. But 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's not all of them. So we'd have to prove that one of these couldn't be a 4, and then we'd have 5 through 9. I mean, 9 on here has to be one of those 3, and one of those
Yeah.
3,
Well, I was
but
trying to
that's
think.
not enough. You were trying to think?
Um, but we can't definitely put the 8 off of the arrows, though, unfortunately.
Yeah. It definitely isn't on here or here. But, 22 is just a minimum, so that could be an 8 and a 1.
Yeah.
I guess it's maximum 24, so there's really not that much wiggle room. It's only 2 degrees of freedom, right?
Yeah.
So these... Well, if it's only 2 degrees of freedom, well, that's on all of this together.
Right.
And 9 and 15 is 24.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be 8, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
I think we can demonstrate that these two have to be minimum something, because these are maximum 17. So that's 1 through 7, where the 7 can't be on this part. So can I remove 1? Well, no, I don't think I could, because 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, if we
Right.
included
Well,
the
2,
1,
3, 4 would have to be 9 and leaves you 5, 6. So
yeah,
no, you can't take the 1 out.
yeah. Another way of going through it is 1 through 6 is 21, remove 1, that's 20, and these are maximum 17. So we have to have a 1. I think a similar idea if what happens with 2, because 21 minus 2 is 19, and 21
Right.
minus 3 is
18.
18. So we have to have 1 through 3. So this is minimum 4. And the same is true here. So this is maximum 5. Get rid of the rest of the digits in there. Not that this is particularly helpful, but it's at least less than the rest of the mess. And I guess just to continue, 21 minus 4 is 17. So we don't need a 4. But if there is no 4, then that has to be an 8, 9 pair. Could these 3 be the same? I don't see why they couldn't be.
Yeah.
But I also don't see a reason why they would have to be. 1 through 6. And 1 through 7. I don't know why I'm trying to sit in my chair. Weirdly. So I know I have 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Although that doesn't feel helpful. So there's got to be something a little more direct. This one is minimum 2. Is there a reason it couldn't be 2? It would just be a pair of 1s here, and that is 1. It would take 1 off of here, 8 off of that. This would become minimum 6. Same with this one. Although that wouldn't rise the minimum. That would still be minimum 22. Does it require something set theory related? What if it was? Doesn't feel helpful right away.
No.
So I might be doing something wrong. But for anyone watching who's wondering, what am I even doing? If I highlight these 9 cells and these 9 cells, then I know that they contain the digits 1 through 9. Well, if you add up all of the digits 1 through 9, you get to 45. And so both the red region and the blue region are 45. And have the same sum. And the same sum is what's important, because these 3 digits sum to the same as this by the arrow rule. So if I take them both out, then the sum of the red region and the sum of the blue region remain the same. So I can take these out as well. Now this one, if I add it into both sets by making it red and blue, then I can take the redness out of those and the blueness out of this one, and red and blue still have the same sum. I could also do something weird like unroll this one, turn that from being blue into those being blue. But I don't see a way that that would be helpful. So I could do the same here, make those blue, that's yellow. Make that blue. And red and blue still have the same sum. It just covers more digits now.
Although, if you look at blue, in box 2, you've got a minimum of 6.
Yeah.
Box 3 is a minimum of 1, that's 7.
These are all 13, which is 20. And a 1-3 pair, or 1-2 pair for another 3.
Right. 3, 6, 16, 22, 23. That's a minimum of 23. And red is max 24.
So 4 and 5 come out.
So it's either 6, 8, 9 or 7, 8, 9. But
Yeah.
either way, 8 and 9 have to be in red. And that would be the same. No, that wouldn't be the same for the bottom one because.
Yeah, it's doing weird things. Torak says, find the minimum sum of the 5 arrows starting in box 2, excluding the one going to box 3 and 6. So we do these ones. Take out all the blue. Well, minimum. Well, we already said these were 13 and these were 22. 22 and 13 is 35. So these
And
are
10 is 45.
Oh. So this is 1 through 4. Take out the 1 there. So these are 1, 2, 3. So the 4 is gone, which means 9 is gone because we know these are 13 now. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Minimum as in the minimum that can be on the arrow, sorry. No, I think that was clear. because we'd already sort of discussed that already. We just hadn't connected the dots that would have been useful
Right.
to consider quite yet.
Well, and the 1-2 pair in row 6 affects the arrow tip on,
Right.
so
So
that's
3 and
now
4
minimum
is 7.
7.
I meant more like 6 cells in box 1 have a minimum of 21. 4 cells in box 5 have a minimum of... Well, yeah. Oh, we'd already done that earlier. But I guess that does mean this has to be 1. Because these are 22. So that's 2, that's 1. So that's 4, because these are a pair of 2s. Meant more like 6 cells in box 1 have a minimum of 21, 4 cells in box 5 have a minimum of 10, 2 cells in row 6 have a minimum of 3, and the final cell must be 1. This is 5 circles can sum up to 35. You haven't finished, keep going. Well, if we know that this is 22, or well, 21 now, then these must be 24. So the 7 comes out. 8 and 9's removed from here. Oh, 2s. I didn't place those. 3, 4.
The 2 arrows that go from box 5 up, that's either 7 or 8.
Right.
And that's 5 or 6.
Yeah. Okay. And then these we know are 22. Which if they were 7, 8, 9, then the 7 can become a 5, 8, 9, a 6, 7, 9, or 7 and 6, 9. So 9's going to have to be up here to get to 22. Right?
Right. Well, the red is 5 through 9, and since it can't be on the bottom row, it has to be one of those 2.
Oh, yeah, true.
2 can be placed in box 9.
And take out 8 and 7.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. Meant to mention that, I forgot.
Okay. I'm missing something. 5 has to be one of these 2 on the bottom row of box 2. So that takes those out and takes 6 out of this one. So we know one of these is 2 is 9. 9 and 5 is 14, and then it would be, well, it was 5, 8, 9. I knew that. So that would be 8, 9 for the 5. If this was a 7, then this would have to be 6 and 9. So 7's not allowed as either of these 2. which means 7 is one of these two, so it's not there. I could take out 1. Although, how could I make this 6? If this was 6, I can't do 1, 5. Because this can't be 1 or 5. And I can't do 2, 4, because this can't be 2 or 4. So this can't be 6. And now this can't be 6, because this would be 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3, and nothing doesn't work. So that's an 8, 9 pair. So this one's 7, 5, and 6. 6 needs a 2, 7 needs a 1. So that's a 4, that's a 3. 1, not 1, not 1. You can't put 5 or 6 on there, so that's 2 and a 1. 3 and 2, not a 1. That definitely makes it 8 or 9. 6 is out of there. That's 24. This is a 5, so that's not. 8, 9. 7's going to be here, so 6 is what's left over. 4, 5, and...
In box 9...
Yeah.
The arrows, plus the one that's up there in box 6, add to 24.
Yeah.
And the minimum in box is 21.
So this is a 3, a 4,
yeah,
for 7. 3, 4.
Oh, wait a minute.
Because if this one had to be minimum 3, because this was 21, 21 and 3 is 24, and then this was minimum 4. Oh, wait, I see what I did wrong.
But it could be, yeah, that's why I was saying, wait a minute. It could still be 8 or 9.
Yeah. Three, 6 pair makes that a 2, because these 3 had to be 2, 3, or 6. This one can't be a 2
the circle
because of that.
Can't be 3 because they both see 2.
2, so 6 and 3. Then this has to be a 1, 5 because the 2, 4 there, so that's 5 and 1 because it already saw 1. 1's out, 5 is out, 1 and 6 is gone, 6 is gone. This has to be 9 because it doesn't have a 1 on it, so 5 is out, 4 and 3. 5 there. 4 takes out 7, so yeah, that was clearly a mistake from before. 6 or 7. Well, this is a 1 then.
And makes that 7 or 8.
And that is 9. So 9, 8, 7, 6, broken. Uh-oh.
Well, 6 and 3 is not 8. 5 and 3 is 8.
6. You would think I would know how to do math with how often we do these things, but nope.
Row 9, you can place a 2.
7 or 8. 8, 9, and a 4, I think. Well, that one's not a 4, so that is. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you can't put 9 on there. Can't have 8 in this row. And that's not a 3. Can't put 6, 7 with the other 6, 7. So 3 and 6 makes 9. 7, 8 pair means that's 4. 7, 8, 9 means these are not 2 or 4, and 1 is in the box and there. So 3 makes 3, 6 and 5 do that. 7 and 8,
7, 8.
I think. So that's a 9, that's a 7, that's an 8, 7, not a 7, 8, 9 pair, 5, 6. That's still ambiguous somehow. 8, 9, 7. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. 4, 8. 4, 5, 7, 9. 4, 7, 9. This is apparently just a 4. But everything
Place
else
the
could
1 in row 3.
So that's 8 or 9. That's 9. That's 8. That's 9. 8. That means this is a 5. 1 and 2 is 3 plus 5. Yep, first try. 3, 5, and 8. 8, 5, and 3. 8's out of those. 7's out. 6, 8, 5, 9, 6, 7, 8, 7, 9. 4, 6, and 7. 4, 7, and 6 in that order. And we're done. That was definitely way easier. Thank you, Tolrak. Co-op by Manifesto, copy. Logic Masters Germany. I don't know why I'm like... We have finished the puzzle. Now what? You'd think, even with my brain being soup from the heat, it would still be, That is not the button I wanted. No, don't do that. It would still be, able to, like, routine, automatic processing stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oops, the solution code you entered is wrong. That's because I did row 9. But it asked for column 9. First try. Alright. Difficulty-wise, definitely a nice puzzle. This mathematical trick's pretty tough. Like, if you're not comfortable with, like, arrow rules and stuff. So I actually think this is... I don't want to say hard. Because... Because I don't wanna. If you're familiar with the puzzles, then it's a lot less difficult. But that's true of everything. When you're more familiar with it, it's easier. I'd say that minimum of 6 cells, plus 4 cells, plus 2 cells, plus 1 cell being 35 is easy enough. If you're familiar with it, it's definitely something that somebody can think through if they're not, like, comfortable with that idea already. It depends, like how often you do, like, variant Sudoku puzzles. Like, if, like, this, I mean, it's not trying to be an approachable puzzle. But if somebody was new to variant puzzles, they're comfortable with the Sudoku rule set, then, like, if they're new to variant puzzles, then I don't know whether or not that's, one, how easy it is to think of that, and then, like, I don't know. Like the trick for me when rating difficulty is asking, like, from what baseline are we going for? Because I don't want to go from my baseline, because I'm already super comfortable with a lot of these rules. And And that level of comfort makes a complicated task easier, but it doesn't make it any less complicated. Is the thing. So just because I find it easier doesn't necessarily mean it is easier. Is the difficulty that I have with rating these puzzles, and why difficulty creep, if that's a concept, happens. Did you have something you wanted to add in, Mama?
No.
Okay. I don't know. I guess I'll go with average, just because I'm having a hard time justifying hard, because like Torok said, like the minimums are pretty straightforward. All you have to do is just add 1 through 6, just to say like the minimum here has to be 21, and then you add up those, but also knowing to look for that sort of thing. Like, I would even go so far as to say that knowing that these 3 plus those 2 is minimum 15 makes both of these 6, 7, 8, or 9 is something that already bumps up the difficulty if the puzzle like really requires that sort of thing. But I don't know. Maybe that's also just me. So I'm gonna call this an average puzzle, even if it's on the harder side of average for me. But that's where I'm gonna go. But yeah. All right. Then I have saved that in my notes. So then that brings us to puzzle number 3 for today, and then I think my brain has been cooked enough. So this is going to be our last puzzle for today. All right.
Just
so
because it's almost 80 degrees in your room.
that is true, although the temperature has gone down a little bit. Let me get this little notepad out of the way. It is now 76.
Still closer to 80 than 70.
That is true. So drink water, folks. Also, heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke are really bad for you.
Yes, they are.
So be really, really careful if you're working outside. Use your sunscreen. And don't take... I guess I want to say don't take unnecessary risks, but that doesn't necessarily feel like it applies. Don't overexert yourself in the sun. So yeah, take care of your bodies. And yeah. All right. I have nothing else to say about that. Actually, I have more to say about it, but I'm not going to, because it's Sudoku puzzle time. So the first thing is, how do we say this? I kind of want to say, Funzen, but I think this is something German, so that's probably wrong. Do you want to give it a go, Mama?
Nope.
No.
Nope. But don't the mark over the U turn that into an oo sound?
Yeah, I think the umlaut does do that. My brother would know more. He took German in high school, so he would be able to maybe give a closer pronunciation. So Funfzen? If I go over here and ask Google, Funfcehen, translate. There we go. Yep, there we go. This one. More options. Reject all the thingies. Okay, so it is telling me that this is the number 15. If I click this, is this going to pronunciate 15? Oh, it just brought me to English. Oh, here we go.
Well, instead of translate, you should have gone pronounce.
Funzing? Is it just 15 but with an accent? Languages are so funny. Funzing. Okay. I should probably have kept that. So the third puzzle for today is by Eric Bader. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits within a cage must total indicated. Digits within a cage must total indicated. Sum to the total indicated. Digits may repeat within cages if allowed by other rules. Adjacent digits along a green line or German whisper line must differ by at least 5. A white dot joins consecutive digits. Okay. So the fun part here is that we know that these two are the same and those two are different, and the middle is different.
So is the 15 cage to the left.
Yeah.
And they can't be too high. Oh, yeah, they can, because 6 and 7.
6 and 7 is 13, but a 1 would make 14.
But you can't have a 2.
But it could be a 7, a 6, 8, and a 1.
Yeah, that would work. Okay, they could be too high.
Alright, well, this one's the most impressive one, so let's make that one green, and those green. Green, please. The rest are going to be purple. 15, well, we're allowed to repeat, which is different from how most killer cages work. Okay. Middle digits, I do want to go ahead and ask the question of what could these be. 4 would force 8, 9. Or no, 4 would be
2 9s.
Yeah, that's not going to work. 3 would force 8, 9, which isn't going to work. And 2 would be minimum 7, 8, right?
Yeah, 7 would have to be bounded by 1 and 3, which is 10. Or 1 and 2.
Yeah. 8 would have 2 and 5. 2 and 5. 2 and 3, which makes 5. And 5 and 8 is only 13. So 9 and 3, 4 is 16. So on the opposite side,
9 with 2 and 4. And you can't have 4 or 6 in the bottom.
Right. Because it'd be 1 with 14, which has to be 6, 8. And 9 with 6, which could not be 1, 5. So yeah, okay, so that would be the only options. And that's true here. So these are opposites. Well, 15, 15, and 15. That's a 1-9 pair. 2, 4, 6, 8. I was about to say, who do we appreciate? 3, 5, and 7. So this couldn't be 3, 5, 7. So it's also 1, 9, or, well, no, it could be funnier than that. It's just not 3, 5, 7.
In box 7,
Box
that
7
2 or
down
8.
here. Yep.
If green is low, seven on the right, if the right was 7, then it would have to be 1 below it. But that doesn't work because then that would also be 1. So that can't be 7. And if it was 8 in the green, it means green is high. If it went to 3, then it would have to be 9 below it, and that would break. So it's, yeah.
And 2 and 8 are the same for the German Whisper line. Yeah, because it goes 1, 9, 2, 8, 3, 7, and 4, 6, as they sort of relate similarly.
Well, and there's another 3 cell in row 9. Oh yeah, there's 2 of them, just one's bent. And
Okay.
the one in box 6 and the one in box 5. Oh no, they're not on German Whispers though, so.
Yeah. The only one where the digits within a cage can repeat is these two could be the same. But I don't know. Five isn't allowed, but it can't be 4, 6. It cannot be 3 or 7 either. This is either 6, 8 and 2, 4. This is 6, 8 and 2, 4. Well, it could just be 4, 6. So then that could be 2, 8. Although the one that could be 2, you could have a 2 up here and an 8 down there, so that's not going to matter. It's just we know that these aren't 6, 8 or 2, 4. It has to be 1 from 2, 4, 1 from 6, 8. That's if they didn't repeat. these two are minimum 7, which means this is maximum 8. Although that's not particularly helpful, because I already knew that from the 1-9. This can be all of the digits.
Except 5.
Yeah. So that's not helpful. This has to be a high-low pair.
In box 4, the 5 would have to be on the first column. Well,
I can
no,
do a
because
5 here with a 4,
it's not
6.
double bounded. It could be 4 or 6. Never mind.
But more importantly, this 15, these 3 are minimum 6. 1, 2, 3. And these two have to be a high-low pair, which is minimum 7. So 1, 6, 2, 7 is 8, is 9, actually. So I can't use a 2, because 2 and 7 is 9, and 9 and 6 is 15.
Mm-hmm. You can use
So
2
I
and
can't use
7,
3
but it
or
would have
4.
to be the 2 would have to be on the outside.
Now if I did a 1 here, this would be minimum 6. This would be 1, 2, 4, which would make that 16. This cannot be a 1, so this must be 1 or 2. Yeah. So Rack again pointing out the simpler way of thinking through that problem. Where if this one was small, 1, 2, 3, 4 here, minimum 10, this would have to be at least a 6, which would make it 16. So this is the high digit, and this one's the low digit, and the high digit. And I can't put a 9 here, because 9 and 1 is 10, and 6 doesn't work. So this isn't a 4. 1, 9 takes 9 out as a possibility there. 3, 8 is 11, and 4 is 15. So that's a possibility. Minimum 7, so maximum 8. So that can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we know that this digit repeats in here. So this is 1 or 2. Because if they didn't repeat, they would have to be 1 through 5. But that's 6, 7, or 8. If this was a 6, these would both be 1s, and then I couldn't put a 1 in here again, which I need a 1, so this can't be a 6.
In box 6, the 2 that are left over, Come to 16 or 17. The two that are not in a cage.
Right. 16 is 7, 8, 9. So 9's required. But if I can't put 7, 8, or 9, then that would
Which,
be 6,
since
5,
9
4.
is required there, that translates over to box 4.
Four, 5, 6 can make that 4, 5. That's 6, and this must be 9. Well, that doesn't really help. 1, 2, 3 is going to take out 2s as possibilities.
The 4, 5, the 15 cage in column 9 translates down to
Okay, so this one is not 3, 5, 7 or 4, 5, 6. It can have a 1 in it. Particularly helpful.
all right. The 15 cage in box 5. The 7. If the bottom of the was a 7, 7 would have to pair with 1 or 2. Well, it can't pair with 1 because that would make another 7. Can't pair with 2 because you would need a 6. And it's C6 in the row.
So 7's not allowed.
8. It can't be 8, 1. That would be a 9. Oh, no. That would be a 6.
And we can't have a 6.
8 would be a 10. Could be a 5. 8, 3 would be 11. That'd be a 4.
6 and 1
has
is
to pair with
7.
1.
So 8.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all the options.
Mm-hmm. Actually, the row's left with 4, 5, 7, 8.
Um, 6 and 1. 8 and 1 was 9. Okay, so it was 8 and 2, 3, or 6 and 1. Oh, I had a strange feeling that I don't have another grid to look at.
What?
I would never forget to put the link in the chat, Tolrak. I don't know what you're talking about, Tolrak. There's definitely a link in the chat. No one will notice if I put it in late, will they? Especially if I don't say anything about it. Thank you for reminding me, Tolrak. Yeah, my brain is very scattered. Very, very scattered. Okay, pair of 1s puts 1s there, but I don't know anything else about that. 1, 6, 8. So 7's gone, and 9 is gone. And I can't put 2 or 4 here, so I can't put 3 or 5 here. Oh, well, if I can't
and then
put
2,
2 or
4.
4,
Yeah.
so that's 6, 8, and 1. 9 with 6, 8 removed from the other side. And that makes this 2, 4, and that doesn't help on this side, but the 2 gets repeated there. And it was 6, 1. 8, 2, and 5 is no longer an option. But 8 must be one of these two, because it's either 6, 1, 8, or an 8 here. So that's not an 8. Eight, 3, 4, or 6, 1, 8.
Or 8, 1, 4. Oh. Never mind. That doesn't work.
No 2s. Well, it has to have a 1 or a 3 in it. So this is 1 or 3. 4, 8, 6, 8, or 5, 9. So the top can't be a 5. Two, 4 means 4 is not there. 4 had to pair with an 8 above it. Five must pair
5
with
would pair with
9.
1, 9.
6, but there's no 8.
Why did the 8 go away?
So I think I don't know how to math.
Okay.
Hold on. I did 5, 9, 6, 8, and 4, 8. Ah, that's why I hit 8 twice. 9 must pair with 5, and then 4 must pair with 8, but I can still put a 6 with an 8. Now I don't need... I cannot do 3, 4, 8, because if I did 3, 4, 8, both of these would be 6, because that would be the 3 and the 4, 8 there. So 3, 4, 8 isn't an option. This must be a 1. So 4 is no longer allowed. It's either 5...
Well, and it can't be
it has to be
6,
4.
8 because 6, 8 would be the same. And
Right.
those would both be 4.
This is 9 with a 4 and a 2. 1, 6, 8. 6 and 8.
6, 7, 8. Column 9 needs 3, 7, 8.
6, 8. So I'm going to take the 8 out. Then the 3, 7 pair is going to place the 8. I guess the 3, 5, 7 does the same thing.
Oh, yeah, there was that.
1, 2, 5, 8, 9. Not 4, not 3 or 7. Not a 4, not a 6. That's a 6, that's a 4.
1 and 9.
4, 6, 8. 1's in the middle.
Oh, 2. Oh, sorry, yeah.
It's
5.
gotta be 3, 5.
No, it can't be 3, 5.
You're
It's
right.
5 and 9.
Where 5's here, 9's there. Yeah, I don't know why I can't.
That's alright, I couldn't follow it either.
What about row 2? 3, 7, 8. Yes, first try. 1, 2, and 6. There's a 2 there. 6 here and 1 there. 7. 7's out of that. 2 4s. Going to take 4 out of here. Okay, so 1, 6, 9, 2, and 4. 3, 5, 7, 8. 3, 5, 7, 8.
Makes it 2
But
below
5 there. No, the opposite of that. This is a 3. Because the 5 has to be one of those. So that's a 3. 7, 8. 1, 3, 1. 1, and 6, and 8.
Column 3 needs a 3.
First try. Column 3 needs a 3. 8. 6 from there. 4, 5 pair makes a 6. Four, 5, 6, and 9. So that one's a 5, that one's a 9, a 6, a 4, a 7. Not 7. So not 7 up here. 1, 2.
Row 9 needs a 5.
6, 5, 7, 4, 9. And none of those are 1. So that is not a 2, not an 8. Derp. That's
Column 7 needs a 5.
6, 7, 8, 7, 1. 3, 7, 8, 9, 8, 6, 8, 7, 3, 8, 6, 8, 9, 7, 9, 8, 5, 7. Makes that an 8. And you said something needs a
Column
5?
7 needs a 5. 7. Column 7. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9. 4, 5 pair makes a 7 and a 5. 4, 5, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. This is 2, 3, 7. That's a 2, a 3, a 2, 7. Not 7.
Row 6 needs 3 and 7.
3, 7, 3, and 5.
5 and 9. Or 9 and 5.
There we go. First try. All right. That was by Eric Bader. Let me see if I can find that on Logic Masters Germany. By Darth Paradox, but that does not seem to be the same puzzle.
Eric Bader.
Yep. Oops. I'll put that here. Nope. Nope. I tried. Doesn't seem like a post because it looks like I have searched their name before. I don't think I have anything else to say about puzzles. But yeah, alright. Before my brain melts out of my head, I am going to say thank you to everyone who watched. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fancy YouTube engagement stuff. If you want to see more Sudoku puzzling, while my brain is cooking, that will be tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, because the heat advisory is supposed to go on until Friday. So, yay, United States. Aside from that, if you want to see other content on this channel, I've been playing Monster Hunter World. Believe the plan is still to do that this Saturday. Mostly because I haven't decided to play a different game. And yep, I can't think of anything else. My brain is falling out the side of my head. You would see gross stuff coming out of my ears if it weren't for my headphones. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the thank you for watching screen again, and have a good night.